2, 3.
Okay, so stream is just delayed a bit behind me. Alright, back to where we were. So, I beat the one Reborn after scrubbing out hard against it. So that is the main critical path next. But before we do that, I'm going to do a few side things. So, one thing that I did was that I went and wandered around that location for a bit until I got the Upper Cathedral Ward key. Key to the Upper Cathedral Ward seal. The upper echelons of the Healing Church are formed by the School of Mensis, based in the Unseen Village, and the choir occupy the Upper Cathedral Ward. This key brings one a step closer to the choir, so we're finally going to get to what the choir is all about. But first we have some business with the Knights of Canehurst. So, we're going to go back to Cathedral Ward and go pay our friend Alfred a visit, because he's been on a quest to figure a way into Canehurst. But the thing is that you can't get to Canehurst until you are summoned to it. So, let's see why he wants this summon so bad. Or why he wants to get to Canehurst so bad, rather. So yeah, we want to go this way. Oh, didn't grab that. There goes. Oh, give me a second. Ooh. Get my microphone away from my slowly heating up PlayStation 4. Alright. Alfred should be still over here. Yes, he is. Hey, Alfred.
Oh, good to see you safe. Now, let's think up something to discuss. Just tell me what piques your interest.
I have something for you.
Aha! Is that the sigil of Canehurst? I've heard tell of Canehurst nobles and their amusingly pompous invitations. Wonderful. I thank you profusely. I will depart immediately, but first, a token of my gratitude.
The Wheel Hunter badge. And the church bell.
Ah, I feel my master's hand at work. Praise the good blood. And let us cleanse these tarnished streets. It has been an honor, but I must say goodbye. Let us cleanse these tarnished streets, and may the good blood guide your way. It has been let us, and may the good...
Alright. So, as we saw before, the robes that he is wearing are the same robes as the executioners that laid siege to Canehurst. Martyr Ligarius led a band of executioners, and this badge was crafted at their dedicated workshop. The wheel symbolizes righteous destiny. Their workshop was a secretive enclave of mystical beliefs and headed fanaticism, which served as the backbone of the executioner's unique brand of justice. So, let's get ourselves to Canehurst and see what that justice looks like. Fanaticism, which served as the backbone. So, let's get ourselves to Canehurst and see what that justice looks like. Justice looks like. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Okay, so this head's done, right? Go back to Ligarius' seat. So, we crushed the martyr of the executioners, but in doing so, opened the door.
Master, look! I've done it! I've done it! I smashed, pounded, and grounded this rotten siren into fleshy pink pulp. There, you filthy monstrosity. What good's your immortality now? Try stirring up trouble in this sorry state. All mangled and twisted, with every inside on the outside for all the world to see. Oh, you, is it? Look at this. Thanks to you, I've done it. Well, isn't it wonderful? Now Master can be canonized as a true martyr. I've done it. I have. I've done it. I have. I've done it.
So, this is what an executioner looks like. And this is what they wanted to accomplish. Which now leads me to the question, why would their commander, Arda Logarios, defend the entrance to killing the last of the leaders of the Valbloods? Why would he do that? Because he obviously figured out who she was, but then decided not to. So, let's take a look at the remains of Annalise, Vileblood, Queen of Canehurst. What remains of Annalise, Blood Queen of Canehurst? This pinkish lump of flesh remains warm, as if cursed. All hail the undying Queen of Blood. So, as it says there, she cannot die. Even if crushed under the wheels of the executioners, she survives. She cannot die. So, one last thing to do, and that is to see what Alfred meant by canonizing Marta Logarios. One, two, three. Radiance. And there lies the crown of illusions and what remains of Alfred. Radiance. A secret symbol left by Carol, runesmith of Bergenworth. The rune Radiance, adopted by the sworn executioners under Logarius' command. The executioners despise the impure Vilebloods, and no matter what the circumstances, would never cooperate with the bloodthirsty hunters who served under the undead queen, Annalise. So, this allows your vials to heal you more. So, and that also allows you to become part of the Executioner's Covenant. So, that ties up that end. So, let's see, since we are in Cathedral Ward, let's head to Upper Cathedral Ward and see what we can find. I find it interesting that you can see these creatures before the blood moon. All you need do is get, I think it's 40 insight, and like have that number beside the eye be 40. I've never accomplished it because keeping your insight high is not something I like to do. I love being powerful enough to actually use this sword properly. Because currently where I'm at with my other game, it's come down to the point where I'm too powerful for the main game at New Game Plus 5. But I'm too weak to fight the DLC at NG Plus 5. Main game at New Game Plus 5. So, already we are in the territory of something not of this world. What these are, I don't really know, nor do I care to want to. And these guys are no joke. So for some reason, they all seem to be intrigued by something over there. And they are, in fact, I believe, non-aggressive as long as you don't attack them. Okay, maybe never mind. But at least their attacks are easy to maneuver around. And there we have the choir set. So, let's just pop out here. I think these crows guard, yeah. If you would kindly stop that. Yeah, Frenzy Cold Blood. Alright. So, we've been hearing about the choir for some time. Hearing that they are the top level of the healing church. Oh, I also got this, which I will look at in a second when I was doing something else. The choir. The attire of the choir, a high-ranking member of the healing church. Members of the choir are both the highest ranking clerics of the healing church and the scholars who continued the work that began at Bergenworth. Together they left behind Great One. Hang on. Together with the left behind Great One, they look to the skies in search of astral signs. They may lead them to the rediscovery of true greatness. And those are all the same. Okay, so now that we've answered that question, now we need to figure out what the left behind Great One is. Now this Lycan, he's tough. But consistently, these guys drop at least bloodstones, twins, or even chunks. So, if you're farming for materials, come here. That is a fine note, and I will show why in a second. So as you may have noticed there, those Lycan, they're pretty tough. So there's 1, 2, 3. Right there. Don't fight them in the open. There's no point. Oh, and somehow he got through the door. That shouldn't have happened. Usually they can't do that. But the reason that this terrain is effective is that as long as you don't touch the wall where they are, you can do this. So, yeah. Those guys are pretty tough. So, hang on. Let's add a little light. Oh boy! And that's why. The wolves aren't the problem in this area. It's these guys. Because if they catch you, as shown before, mashing, you'll lose 2 insight. Not mashing, probably 3. More ritual cold blood. Third light. There's one more, yeah. Fighting 1 is fine. Because you just do that. It's fighting the multiple that's the problem. Now this is the other tricky part. There's our little friend there. Come here, buddy. And he drops chunks. Problem is this guy around the corner. Who you do not want to let. Because as soon as he's able to cast that spell, he can trap you. So the best thing you can do is just stun lock him. Because actually trying to fight these guys, oh boy, not always so good. So, as I remember, there's one guy here, yeah. Pretty good so far. Blindfolded cap. Admins. Pearl slug. This is the shortcut back to where the lichens are. Now, here's the real tricky one. Orphanage key. This is the loop back to where the first lichen broke through the glass. This guy drops some bullets. Okay, let's read a few things here. Orphanage key. Key to the orphanage, birthplace of the choir. The orphanage, shadowed by the great cathedral, was a place of scholarship and experimentation, where young orphans became potent unseen thinkers of the healing church. The choir would later split the healing church. The choir that would later split the healing church was a creation of the orphanage. So, and the blindfolded cap. Oh, I should also talk about that. Blindfolded cap. Attire of the choir, higher-ranking members of the healing church, members of the choirs. The eye covering indicates their debt to the teachings of Master Willem, even though their paths diverge. Same metal covers that Master Willem wears over his eyes. And now we come to one of the most important things in the entire game. This weird thing that you somehow talk to and get the make contact gesture. So now head back this way and fully unlock the way that we came. Then we'll head back to the Hunter's Dream, read a few of the outfit descriptions that I have, and then continue ourselves towards the place that I actually wanted to go. Because I will come back here. But this place is actually pretty high level. All right. Okay. Let's
Very well, then.
pop in these souls. Go to our next point of arcane, I think.
Farewell.
Alright. Let's take a look at a few things here, shall we? So, one of the things that I did while I was working in the background was that I went back to Old Yarnum and faced off against Jorah, the guy with the Gatling gun on top. I now have a +5 cannon, so I literally just walked up the ladder and blew him off the roof. When you do that, the shot probably won't kill him unless you've got really high blood tinge, and even then it's a maybe because Jorah's really tough. When you do that, you should blast him off the edge and you'll be able to get his item if it falls in the right spot. If it doesn't, quit and reload the game when you're at the top of the tower there, and his item will spawn, which is this, the Powder Keg Hunter's Badge. Badge crafted by the Powder Kegs, the heretics of the workshop. The Powder Kegs' adoration of complex design and big booms culminated in weapons design that contrast with their traditional, with those traditional of the workshop. The late Powder Kegs blessed their souls and had a motto: if a weapon ain't got kick, it just ain't worth it. So, what weapons of theirs have kick? Well, the rifle spear and the stake driver. The rifle spear, a terrific weapon crafted by the workshop heretics. The late Powder Kegs blessed theirs. A prototype weapon served as a simple firearm and spear, possibly a creation in imitation of the lost Canehurst weapon, i.e. the Rider Plash. Lacks any notable function, saving that it is the only trick weapon with an attached gun. Well, it's not, because the Rider Plash exists. And then the stake driver, a weapon fashioned by the workshop heretics, the Powder Kegs, favored by the retired hunter Jorah. So he was the white hunter at the top of the tower. The stake driver, with its queerly complex design, violently drives thick stakes into the flesh of foes. But the stake driver allows for high damage critical attacks, but is difficult to use when it leaves the wielder open. But none should bother a mere Powder Keg. So, what do these weapons look like? Sadly, I can't use the rifle spear because I don't have the equipment load, but I'll show you the stake driver because it's a pretty cool weapon. So, your normal, it's a couple hits, Your normal is a down. Down again. Backdash is that. Roll. Uppercut. It's this that matters. The transform of this weapon is not so much about transforming to a different form. Well, at least not in the typical sense of doing that. It's about cocking it into place. Your new heavy is that. Oh, and I should... Uncharged, uncocked heavy is that. Charged heavy is that. This thing is one of the coolest looking weapons. So, this is a mobile pile bunker. It's awesome. Now, sadly, it's not very effective. So, I will be not using it that much. Also, oh wait, hang on. Before we do that, the other thing that can be found in there is you can find the Charred Hunter set, one of the staple articles of hunter attire fashioned at the workshop, a product of the scourge of beasts that once plagued Old Yarnum and culminated in the town's fiery cleansing. The cape's drapedness makes it high resistant to fire. Wearers of this attire hunted down victims of the scourge who survived the raging flames and stench of singing blood. So, the Charred Hunter set does look really cool. I'll show it off for you here. Like, the cloak is probably the best part because the shredded effect, and the gauntlets are really nice too. We are wearing the knight's armor for the time being. So, also, when we... I did look at the wheel badge. The wheel badge unlocks the weapon that Alfred was using, which is the Ligarius wheel. A weapon wielded by martyr Ligarius' band of executioners, used to slaughter the vile bloods of Cainhurst, bathed in the pools of their blood, and forever steeped in their ire. Transformed to unleash the power of the wheel and manifest their lingering rage in a show of utter brilliance. This weapon starts at scales at strength of C, gets up to S scaling of strength. This weapon is a lot of fun to play with. I'm currently running trying to beat every boss with it, at least of the main game. I've pretty much accomplished all the major bosses with him because it is a fun weapon. The other thing that it unlocks is the final piece of the Executioner's set. The odd helmet worn by the band of executioners commanded by Martyr Ligarius. The conical gold helmet, symbol of the executioners, represents luminosity, ambition, and an unflagging, I guess that's how you would say, unflagging resolve to face impurity, staring it down with a stern golden spirit. As the great Ligarius once said, acts of goodness are not always wise, and acts of evil are not always foolish, but regardless, we shall always strive to be good. So, that raises the question, was what they were trying to do wrong? Like, are the Canehurst Knights, in fact, menaces? Or are they just trying to be their own thing? We'll get into that a little more later. But first, let's check out one last set. I can also buy chunks now, which is nice, but I won't. Which is the gray, which is the Ashen set. Attire of the retired hunter Jorah. This worn wolf cap is his trademark. Jorah is known throughout his contact with the powder kegs, the heretics of the workshop. He is said to have been both uncommonly kind and dreadfully foolish. Jorah felt defeated by the state of Old Yarnum and renounced his hunter's vows. Painted in a ceremony of worn-off blood. That's the Ashen set. So, we're gonna buy this. Because of one particular reason that I don't think I'll be getting into this episode. Or part, rather. But I will at a later date. So,